Okay, good afternoon. This is Debbie Davis. It is it is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. So I just am gonna record a conversation here today with State Farm. So I'm gonna make a phone call. So just to kind of I was so I had a few things happen. Okay, I just kind of summarize here. The other day, last week, I got some food poisoning, and I went to the VA, and they refused to treat me. And they said they're not going to give me anything, so I left. And then they continued to have a security follow me out. So that was something that happened to me just last week. So I've talked a lot about on my channel, and I don't hardly hear anybody else talking about this program. I mean, there's a lot of people that have, well, there is like worldwide, there's people that are documenting the harassment, but nobody's officially talking about what the program is like I have, and I've actually showed the charts. I got put on as a whistleblower when I accidentally became a witness to that crime at a military base. I got put on this chart called a targeted individual program, because I'm now a whistleblower. So I've talked about this before, and this is an official program, and I've showed this before. This is an actual chart. So part of the program is blocking medical care, and that's what happened to me last week. Okay, they hit us with directed energy weapons. This is a real program. It's the highest levels. It starts at the CIA in Denver. I'm on this list, and it also involves the fusion centers. And also it has to do with my bloodline. So apparently I was on this list even before I became a whistleblower. So as I've talked about the fusion centers before, where they are redirecting our calls. Now we know it has something to do with Google that's helping redirect our calls. And I don't know if you remember this, but years ago, the first Trump administration, Trump was actually taking Google to court because he was finding out how much he was being shadow banned on his ads for rerunning. And he had taken Google to court. Now I've experienced this for years now. My business, anything I try to do is shadow banned on Google. And now we also know that the police are involved in following us, tracking our devices with Google. So that's another thing. So I was watching something the other day, a couple videos. I'll put them on my links, but you can watch them yourself. Here's a video. There's a guy talking about how they are tracking your phones, cell phone surveillance. They're using a Stingray.
Security researcher here once again.
Okay.
Thanks for checking out my video.
Security researcher.
We're going to talk about stingrays.
Okay, they're using a Stingray to track me, the police.
It's a much safer term.
And they're also using this Google thing.
We're going to discuss what these devices are.
Yeah, they've been using the cell, so they can.
How they function.
They've been tracking me for years.
Deployed,
it's been 13 years of this.
What they can do once they are deployed.
Okay.
How you yourself can determine if one is operating in your area.
Yeah, they're operating. They're using the cell phone towers to track me on a daily basis, and it's been happening for 13 years.
This is going to be a long video. I'm re-recording the audio here for God knows how many times.
Okay.
I'm going to try to include as much information as I can here. I ask that you be patient and watch this thing all the way.
This is something you can watch on your own. That's one of them. A security researcher. He's talking about how the police and the CIA, and it's the Masons and the CIA, and they're involved in illegally tracking all of us through the and it's mostly if you're on this program, this targeted individual program. And then the other guy that's explaining it, there was 2 really good videos that I found yesterday talking about the surveillance that they're actually using to track us. Okay, so and there was another guy that I talked to yesterday. I mean that um, so cell phone surveillance and mass surveillance from a corporate source. Okay, there's the other guy talking about it. There was 2 videos I found yesterday.
Phone surveillance quite frequently.
Okay, this is Rob Braxman.
We get direct evidence of how these surveillance tools are used.
So they're using illegal surveillance tools, and it's just happening worldwide. So this guy's another guy you can look up.
Software called Fog Reveal.
So they're using fog data science,
and it's based on location data captured from.
Okay, phones. So they can get your location from your phone. And they can track you wherever you are. And I've been illegally tracked and illegally surveilled now for 13 years, ever since I became an accidental witness to a crime at a military base. So I don't know. I guess 13 years isn't enough of being illegally tracked and surveilled just because I was an accidental witness at a military base. I mean, so this is way past the point of. It's obvious targeting, and it's called crimes against humanity, illegal surveillance. They're targeting bloodlines, so that would be called religious persecution. I've talked about this on my channel before because my DNA was sent in. Well, my friend Jamie Burke, her DNA was sent in. I did a whole video about it called "The Targeting of the Abrahamic Jacob Bloodline." Okay, so she sent her DNA in, and her DNA is directly in the bloodline of the Abrahamic Jacob. She's in the tribe of Judah. She's in the tribe of Jacob. It goes way back to Abraham. So apparently what we know now is that the Vatican had these bloodlines, and they've been targeting us from birth. So they've been targeting our bloodline that's in that Abrahamic Jacob bloodline. So we get targeted. We're getting, they like to try to have us arrested. They like us to have us fired from jobs so we can't make money. They're tracking me. They're always trying to get me arrested. It is illegal. It is called crimes against humanity. So the thing I'm trying to deal with today, but you can look up those videos. I wanted to show those videos so everybody can listen for themselves how these mass surveillance things are working against us. So, because this program isn't just in the United States, it's worldwide. And it's the Masons and the CIA, the intelligence agencies that have been a part of this. And it's illegal, and it's murdered millions. It's murder. It's not a game. It's basically a targeting of a bloodline, like what happened in World War II when they were targeting the Jews. Okay, and like a mass genocide, but it's not in the same exact way. We're being hurtled off into FEMA camps and and incinerated. It's been on a slower basis, but I think that's what the next step that was being planned was to put us in FEMA camps. So it's not much different. It's basically the same situation as what happened in World War II, and they are targeting bloodlines like they were targeting the Jews. So we know this now. It's illegal. These people have to be held accountable. So what's happening to me right now, what I'm trying to deal with today, is that I played this video about how I'd gotten rear-ended the other day. And so the guy had State Farm insurance. My car has now been in the shop 2 weeks. I never heard from the State Farm adjuster until just yesterday. Or until, just like literally. And then she's like trying to demand that it's time for me to bring my rental car in. Literally, these people have never contacted me. The insurance agencies are part of this program. So that's what I'm trying to document now, is the insurance agencies are very much a part of the fraud against us, and they are part of the targeting. So I have to try to get a hold of this woman. My car isn't fixed. The shop hasn't received the check. So how am I supposed to turn in my rental when my car still hasn't been fixed? Okay, so I'm trying to address the situation with State Farm right now as to exactly what am I supposed to do here. She said my car has been deemed a total loss, but that's really interesting because the first appraisal said something else, and then I got a second appraisal at Thomas Auto Body, and then I got a third appraisal somehow.
I see you have.
So she sends me she sends me this voicemail yesterday, saying, okay.
Hi Debbie, this is Dorian Cole giving you.
I've never heard from this woman in 2 weeks. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. Oh, I'm your adjuster.
And, I see one of your questions
really?
Was why didn't I contact you earlier, or why?
Oh, I'm just hearing from you now. After 2 weeks.
Total loss team. We have a lot of different teams. At first, the vehicle was repairable, and that's. They had to do a damage estimate on the vehicle, and I just got this total loss yesterday on the 5th. So this vehicle was
first it was repairable, then it's a loss.
Yesterday, and that's when I called.
So I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what they want me to do.
They did do a
it's extremely confusing.
Virtual damage estimate.
They did a virtual damage estimate. Okay, this is what really gets me. Like, really, now the insurance agencies, they said, because they texted me and said they were going to send their own appraiser out, a State Farm appraiser. And I'll show the text here. And then now she said, oh, no, we didn't need to send anybody out. We said we now do a virtual appraisal. Okay, really? Have you ever heard of such a thing? What do you use, Space Force, satellites to do? I mean, it's out in the back of the lot. Like, how is this supposed to work? I have no idea what's going on. This is so confusing to me. This is just infuriating. I just want my car fixed. And it's just like, it's like an act of, it's just they make everything so stressful now. The insurance companies and even the collision company, like they even admit, I talked to them, it's not their fault. They even admit that the insurance companies are in, they run the show, so they have to, and a lot of times they try to fraud the collision companies that are trying to do the repairs. They are trying to pay us as little as possible. They're trying to pay the collision companies, the body repair shops, and the insured as little as possible, and they will do whatever they need to do it. They've just become so fraudulent now that you just never know what they're going to do.
PM Mountain Standard Time. So you could just give me a call, but yeah, that's why I just got the total loss yesterday. It wasn't originally a total loss vehicle. They did a damage estimate from the pictures, and they came up with a damage estimate, and the damage estimate deems the vehicle a total loss. And I can give you more information about that. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Okay, so I talked to so at first it was, a certain, and then apparently they do an estimate of what your car is worth compared to the damage, and I don't know how they figure this all out, but so I said, so I had, because I've had them really screw me over before. This accident happened a couple of years ago, and they really screwed me over, and I got 2 totally separate estimates, and one of them was completely repairable, and one of them put it into a loss, and the same type of thing happened. And then they were trying to force me to take a salvage title, and I said, no, I want to keep the vehicle. But then they didn't give me enough to actually get the vehicle repaired. So the whole thing was just such a mess that I still haven't gotten the first one fixed from 2 years ago, and I never got the same claims adjuster twice. It was just such a mess. I can't tell you. Like, it was with USAA, and the guy had full coverage and I had full coverage, but my car was never fixed. So I am real leery about these insurance companies now. So that's why I'm documenting this. So I'm going to try to have to call her back. Her name is Dorian. And so the collision company that I talked to yesterday explained it, and he said, well, it might not be such a bad deal if they deem it a total loss, because then let's see what they offer you, what amount they offer you, because you can either take that amount and get it fixed wherever you want to, or you can have them, or you can turn in the vehicle for a salvage title or whatever. So that's how he explained it. He said, so just see if they offer you a decent amount, and then you have to do a Carfax and all this different research to make sure they're offering you the correct amount, because they will try to fraud you, these insurance companies. I mean, we are dealing with serious fraud on an insurance level nowadays in this country. So I'm just warning everybody. So and I talked to the collision companies, and they admit that the insurance companies are trying to pay them as little as possible, and the insured, and a lot of times they don't make any money either. It's just a mess. So I'm going to try to have to call her back and see what is she willing to offer me
due to a recent change
for my car.
Your party's extension,
and I'm not gonna. There's not going to be one time I'm going to talk to her that I'm not recording the conversation, because there's so much distrust now that there will not be any conversation without it being recorded. Okay, with this State Farm. So this is what I have to deal with now.
Please say yes or no. I see you have an existing claim.
Yes.
Is this claim the reason? We value your time. We can text you a link to your online claim information where you may upload photos, documents, and estimates, view documents such as the State Farm estimate, and check status of a payment. This text is optional and will not impact the service State Farm provides for you. Messaging charges may apply. Would you like to receive this text?
No.
In a few words, please tell me why you are calling today. You can say things like contact information, claim status, or payment status.
My representative, my adjuster, Dorian Cole. Seriously? Extension 71877. Extension 71877.
Of this claim?
Extension 71877.
I'm working to connect you to your handler.
My handler. Oh, really?
Sorry,
She's not
Dorian is not available. Record your message.
My handler. Did you hear what they said? She's my handler. What is this, a CIA handler? See, that's what they say in the CIA. Yes, Dorian, are you my CIA handler? Yeah, this is Debbie Davis. I'm calling you back. Apparently you're my adjuster or my handler. What exactly does the handler mean on an insurance claim? Okay, so I'm calling you back regarding this claim, and where at first it was fixable, but then now you're saying it's a loss. So I'm wondering what State Farm is willing to give me for the vehicle, so I can get it fixed where I need it, where I would like to get it fixed. I'm wondering what you're willing to offer me at this point. And I'm a little confused about the whole thing, and as to why I haven't been contacted sooner. And then I got your message yesterday saying you want me to turn my rental in, but my car isn't fixed. So how am I supposed to turn my rental in when you haven't even given the auto body shop a check to fix the car, and you haven't given me any check, but yet you want me to turn my rental car in? So I'm confused about the whole thing. So if you can give me a call back and let me know as to more what is going on here, I appreciate it. My number is 651-767-2892. Thank you.
The time limit for leaving a voicemail is 3 minutes. Please call back if needed.
Oh, they won't even let me leave a voicemail. Oh, okay. See, okay. Is this crazy or what? Oh, there's a time limit on leaving a voicemail on State Farm. Okay. So, I mean, they make it, this is like, and she's my handler, not my adjuster. So that means she's CIA. Okay, so I got a CIA agent handling my insurance claim. I'm aware of that now. Her name is Dorian. And she is trying to say my car is a loss. And she won't let me leave a voicemail. She sent me a voicemail back This was on the 5th.
Hi, Debbie. This is Dorian Cole calling from State Farm Claims about the 2013 Kia Sorento. I am your claim adjuster.
Oh, really? Why didn't you contact me for 2 weeks?
And we do need to go over the next steps of your settlement. Your rental also will be ending soon. If you could just give me a call back.
So how am I supposed to turn my rental in when you haven't even done anything to address the damage of my car? Does that make any sense to anybody? Oh, believe me, this is going to be documented. Every step of it is going to be documented. I am documenting every step with State Farm as to how they handle insurance claims now. I could not believe how the other one was handled a couple years ago. My car never got fixed. I had full coverage with USAA, and so did the other guy. He slid into me. It was just a side repair. My car never got fixed. They all of a sudden I got a check in the mail. I had no agent I was working with consistently, and all of a sudden I was forced to take a check that wasn't even for the amount that would have been enough to fix the car. And then they're like, "Oh no, the claim is closed now. You can't reopen it." Yeah, I mean, this is insurance fraud we're dealing with here, or just fraudulent activity involving the insurance companies. So I just wanted to document this. So I tried leaving a voicemail. I'll try again. But this is basically like pulling teeth to try to get anything, the insurance companies to deal with the claims properly like they used to. It used to be just like everything was handled, you go get your rental, it's all handled, your car gets fixed, and you get nowadays it's been like a battle from the minute it happened. Okay, you saw me over at Classic Collision. They didn't even want to give me a proper estimate. And then when they did do the estimate, State Farm kept saying they didn't get the email, they didn't get the estimate. That happened 3 or 4 emails it took to get them the estimate. Okay, and then this has gone on now 2-3 weeks, a long time. It is totally unacceptable.